Hello, hello, beautiful badass souls. This is Spark of Inspiration number 6. And with us, amazing, incredible, beautiful, fantastic, gorgeous April and Dustin.
Oh,
Um, Welcome,
thank
guys.
you.
Welcome.
Thank you so much, man. We can't ask for more. We're really grateful to be a part of this, Anya.
Absolutely.
This is amazing. I mean, you know that I love you so much, and I was really looking forward to this conversation, just that we share everything that you are, everything that you're doing with the world, yeah, with community and also outside of community. So, you know how this goes. Usually it's I mean, I make an intro and then the stage is yours because I really want to shine a light on both of you. We're gonna have, like just normal conversation, but at first, would you be so kind and just introduce yourself? Like, who are you? What is your mission? And like, it can be like first April, then Dustin, or one can speak for both of you, whatever you prefer. So just that people get to know you a little bit.
Sure, yeah. I think together, because our mission is together. So that's probably a good place to start off is together. And then if you want to break off, because we definitely have our own individual journeys toward when we met about 10 years ago, I guess 11 years ago. Yeah. But so since we've met, our mission has been pretty active. We were really in tune to the fact that we had been brought together to share our gifts with each other first. And we kind of honored that and took some time the first couple of years we were together to just honor one another and hold space for one another to kind of come into who we were, because it was a big shift in our life for both of us. And as we settled into that, we were ranching. We've been horse trainers and professional horse trainers and ranchers our whole life. And so that's what we were doing at the time, and putting in, 14 hours a day on a ranch for someone else, and then coming home and giving Reiki every night of the week. And it's like we weren't eating dinner till midnight. And it just was like, wow, this is obvious that we could pick one or the other. So let's pick. And it just kind of soared the whole thing into a business that we developed called Buckaroo Buddha in
Amazing.
2019.
Such a fantastic, really, really cool name. So, and
Thank
who
you.
made it
Yeah.
up? Like, who, like, was it channeled, or who said, like,
Um,
tell
Yeah.
me?
so I was working on a big ranch up in northern Montana, and there was a cow boss there that he just started calling me Buddha one day because it didn't matter if it was negative 40 degrees and snowing sideways and cows were everywhere and shit was flying off the wall. I was always like grounded and happy and like looking for the best of things. And so that name, he kind of carried that name out to Buddha. And I don't know, I was sitting at home one night and drawing and thinking and manifesting all this together. And I just put it all together and found this little Buddha guy with put a cowboy hat on him. And yeah, just that's kind of how it opened up. That's um, that's how it was birthed.
It was kind of a
I love it.
crossfire title to the Buckaroo Buddha, because we were in Buckaroo country and working with Buckaroos. And the community that we were about to serve, or we're kind of already serving for that year, and then going to open up a clinic full time. That was our decision. And they're, primarily loggers and ranchers. And it's about 3 hours to anywhere else. So you're very secluded. It's almost like a portal into itself, and you're serving those people.
Wow.
When we did this. Yeah. And we definitely were in tune to the fact that we were a bridge for them. And so we were pretty good about mingling with them at the ranch or at barbecues or even at like honky tonks, and then still bringing in the chakra work and maybe some tie dye and flip flops. Oh my, like all of these things that loggers and ranchers don't do. And that kind of took off with the clinic and the name. And we used it as a way for a lot of them to learn to just kind of drop their ego before they even come into the clinic. And we offered a number of modalities that ranged from muscle work and nerve alignment. We're both Bowen therapists, and we specialize in this modality. I don't know if you're familiar with it. If you're not, then it's a great thing to research because it is really fantastic for pain management in like muscle and nerve alignment. So we had already done that because of our prior story and had already been specializing in it for ourselves and for our pain management. And so to offer that in the clinic as kind of the front room, and then, the curtain opened up and we gave Reiki. And the next curtain opened, it was shamanic breathwork courses and workshops or treatments. And so there were a lot of curtains and a lot of, you just came and decided how far you wanted to take your awareness in the area. And we just really centered on being a bridge for them. And they were not used to, we're basically the first alternative medicine that had ever been there, really. And so we wanted to be a really good example for the rest coming. And so we were able to serve that. And so, that our mission up till now was to be that bridge and hold that space. And then that has transferred now into some more online work and being able to serve that time kind of gave us this, be able to create the space we're in now to enjoy our life for ourselves as well. Is where I'm trying to get at.
Love it. Thank you for sharing this. So if you don't mind, I would go a little bit back. So it's like before you even met, because before you two came together. So you were on your journey and Dustin was on his journey. How would you say, for example, before you met, you were already dealing with pain, like with health issues, or it was later?
No, it was before. Both of us had our journey, and I'll let Dustin share his first. But we both had a journey or two or three of our own, what you call first deaths or even shamanic deaths or ego deaths or all of those. And so by the time we met, we were pretty firm in following our true self and what we call the stars, because at the time we were just doing what we were told and following these messages. We weren't clued in quite as much as we are now to these things. We were just doing kind of more whimsical. It was very more whimsical, I felt like, because
How did your journey start? May I ask, how did your journey start? Like your shamanic journey, like your spiritual journey? What was that would be really interesting to hear. So bring it on.
It's a little bit of a long story, so I'll try and chop it up a little bit. But so I guess it all started. I had a near-death experience my senior year of high school after a wreck, and met my creator and was given this whole choice of whether I wanted to come back or try again. And I made this agreement. Here I am. So with that, it took a lot. My early 20s, I was, was raised in the cowboy culture where you're tough and don't show emotions, and this is the way. And the guys I was working with, it's a very masculine heavy world. And anyways, so I kind of started, I had like these, people call them demons inside me, but it was actually light trying to break out. That I led through, and I battled, the whole depression thing and tried to commit suicide once. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing? You already made this agreement. You're here. You can't, no easy out. And So, yeah, I kind of went through my early 20s, but I was blessed to be out in the country, riding horseback every day. Really, a lot of alone time, a lot of time to look at yourself,
You're such a
to
beautiful
look at the
soul,
world
Dustin.
around you.
Such a beautiful
Sorry, I get
soul.
emotional talking about
Yeah,
it still, but
do it. This
bear
is
with me.
completely safe space. So because I can feel you both, you are so amazing, and I'm so grateful that you are sharing this with me, with us.
Thank you.
So just
Well, there's this space in horseback. There's this spot on horseback when you're really riding, when you're not trying to figure all this stuff out with the horse, when you're a true rider and in connection and out in the wilderness, and you're with God. This is a time when we meditate and we spend time with God. So it is emotional, especially because that's where we want to be right now.
Yeah. So, those moments brought me deeper and deeper into myself and my healing and questioning of why I am here, what I am doing here. And it ended up taking me to northern British Columbia for a while. And I guess that's where I got my first taste of spirituality. I was up on a ranch up there and had a gentleman show up in my life that came, and he was a shaman of the tribe up there, and he showed up on this ranch wanting to talk about hunting property and kind of hooked onto me. He says, "What are you doing? Why you notice I squint a lot, whatever. I have a thing with my eyes." He's like, we talked about my vision, and he says, "Can I work on you?" And I was like, "Yeah, you bet." And he's doing his energy work on me, and we're deep in ceremony, and he is over top of me on the couch, and he looks at me in the eyes. He's like, "Excuse me, what are you doing?" And I was like, "What do you mean? What am I doing?" He's like, "You're supposed to be working. You're supposed to be doing this." And it took me a little bit to grasp that concept. So I started working with him some more as I continued that journey, and I'm started walking barefoot down on the creek, talking to the trees and the birds, and you're like, the gifts, you've got to share yourself with these people and help hold space for other people. And I was like, I still had my big cowboy ego. It's like, no, man, I'm a cowboy. Nobody knows I'm out here barefoot, playing in the forest, frolicking through the woods, which is now one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah, mine too. So no worries.
But anyways,
I get you.
So I kind of worked with him off and on for a little while I continued that journey up there. And then life shot me back down to the US with the direction as I was getting the hell out of the snow and the cold. So I was going to make my way to California. Kind of in that path, I had another teacher show up in life. She was more of the mystical side of things. She was taught me how to pull cards and connect with spirit guides and things like that. So I had a little bit of a relationship with her for a minute, and kind of, she was the one that taught me how to sit down and meditate and how to really go into yourself. And so this is all spread out over 6-7 years. So it was a lot and a little, and of course I'm still the tough cowboy, right? Battling that as well. And I ended up down in California eventually, and met April, and we started manifesting. I remember our first conversation one night after a few drinks was up in my cow camp trailer at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, "You might think I'm crazy," but I pulled out I had this binder, of my manifestations.
Yeah.
I said, this is what I think life's supposed to be. She's like, you're fucking cool. That's what life's supposed to be. And so that was like the first time that I was like, wow, somebody sees this. Excuse me.
Yeah, that was cool. That was really cool to meet. We met, that's why you're just like following the path, you know, and the stars, like you are trusting what it doesn't make sense, but sometimes you just trust what your gut is saying to you. And these guys, there's two horse, they're both horse trainers I was online with for a couple of years in horse training groups about horse training. And they came all the way down there and they were given a clinic about 10 minutes from where I lived. And I was super high paced, didn't have time for anything. And I mean, I was running a big facility and had way too much stuff going on. And I was just pulling it off. And I had to go to my aunt's funeral that weekend. And driving home, I was like, man, these guys, I was past the gate and I was like, they're sitting right here. I got to go shake their hands. Something inside me tells me if I only have 10 minutes, I should do that, you know? And I did. I run in there and I was like, hey, I had to shake your hand at least because we know each other for real. And took off, but their trucks had broke down. They had a broken truck and all these horses. And so again, I threw it out there and I was like, wow, I just happened to have this big empty barn and a bunch of empty beds. So if you guys need a place for the weekend, because it's a holiday weekend, I gotcha. And so they came up for the night and used that opportunity. And so it gave us the chance to get to know each other. And then something told me to go try where he was at, a ranch near 6 hours away, to try to maybe look for work, a new employment. I'd been searching for a year already. And I got there, I wasn't there 2 hours and realized I wasn't going to work for this place. That's for sure. So I let my guard down and we kind of got cowboyed. And that's where he said, it was like, yeah, we stayed up till 5 a.m. talking about all of this. Really, it was pretty interesting.
Like, yeah, the crazy in me sees the crazy in you.
Yeah,
like it was a total connection where I didn't feel so alone.
Because we were like, don't tell anyone. Yeah. He's like, yeah, don't you tell anyone.
People that this is the way I think, or that I look inside myself for answers instead of out, and try not to bury my thoughts and emotions in a bottle. With it's a common thing in the cowboy world is we don't talk about our problems, we bury them down deep, cover them with a little bit of whiskey.
Oh my God, I love this. Like this, for outside world, like the combination of somebody on ranch like cowboy and a spiritual shaman, it's like, that doesn't go together. Oh yes, it does. Look
and that's
at
I can't
you.
wrap my head
Look
around.
at you.
Why isn't I don't understand why there's not more, Anya. There's so people, society has put this big like gap between us,
I know.
the
That's
hippies
why
and the cowboys.
we are talking
We're
about
the exact same thing.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's what cracks me up is there's men, there's people that spend way more time horseback with me, and I know that they see the beauty in it and touch it. They just that's my job here, is to show them it's okay.
They're afraid to speak up. They're afraid to show up as their authentic selves. I'm pretty sure that there are so many others that really feel this connection to horses in a very profound way. And it's like, okay, what am I to do? And maybe they're like reading about it, they know about it, but now, especially now, people get activated. Like more and more gifts are coming online, but it's like they're like, oh my God, I'm crazy. Like, why is this happening to me? It's like, when you open these doors, you cannot close them. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is what we are doing now, is like widely open these doors. It's like, hey, it's okay. Come in, talk about it. So it's fantastic. Really. I'm so happy. I mean, I love this kind of, this synergies and combination of things, where it's like, oh, like there's no way in hell this goes together. Like cowboy and spiritual shaman. Are you crazy? Yes, it is.
It
And
does
we are
go so much
proudly
together,
crazy.
though.
I love it. I love it. So, okay, this is how you met. And now you've been together, what, 10 years, you said?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just over. Yeah.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you.
Congratulations. The
Yay.
world is
Yeah.
the world is definitely a better place because you two are together. So would you be so kind and just present like your practices? What are you doing? Like when people come, for example, if I one day show up at Buckaroo Buddha, what are we gonna do together?
Yeah,
What curtain you want to go
yeah,
through?
and and that's the thing that I really enjoy about it is and I think it's important for a lot of people is to be able to match them on where they are at your journey. Are you coming closed off and tied up in a box and just need
Mhm.
some muscle relief and let energy flow, or you want to come drink magic cactus juice with me down by the river?
Oh my God, is that San Pedro or Chuma?
Yes,
Oh my God.
yes,
I
Yeah.
actually, April, I told you, after the Chuma ceremony, I started recording activations.
There you go.
yep.
Yeah, yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
That,
what it is, right? That arrow straight into the heart. That's why it's straight.
directly. Yeah.
Opens it up.
That was so crazy. It was very long. It was, I think, like 10 or 12 hours, the whole
Oh, wow.
journey. Oh my God. And yeah, I set like really, really strong intention. It's like all or nothing, all or nothing. So I was like, hey, yeah, usually, like when I was doing that, it was, oh my, I don't know. Now I think like, why did I do that? But everything happens for a reason. So I was like, hey, grandfather, please, it's Vachuma, yeah? San Pedro is grandfather. Hey, grandfather, please help me clean my whole lineage, 7 generations, like back,
Oh,
seven
that's
Oh
right.
yeah,
generation in
Yeah,
front.
a little bit of
Oh my God.
put you in the
So
work, huh?
all or nothing.
yeah, that was pretty crazy, but I like it was the one of the most profound. This and Bufo were like one of the most profound experiences that I had with plant medicine in
Mm,
general, like on my
For
journey,
sure.
so very
For
beautiful,
sure.
very beautiful energy, very protective.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. And at the services, remembering a lot of the community that we have served aren't typically ready to jump from one curtain and run through all of the rooms
Yeah,
were a number of them, like you say, go for it. But for the most part, they need quite a bit of introduction. And so we feel it's important to give them that space and let them show up and see what they need. So, like the Bowen therapy, it's not just like white coat. We put chakra flags and some Buddha and some incense. And then it was like, okay, that might be enough for you. If you want more, let's go into the next, like I say, behind the curtain, the
yeah,
next treatment room.
step by step,
And
so
then we
you don't
had more
overwhelm
goods.
them. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Right.
you've got to walk people through it, right?
Mhm.
You
of
that's
course.
where issues happen. People were like, "Oh, I'm going to go on a spiritual journey. I need to go to Peru and drink ayahuasca, and I'll be all better." No, it's just like starting, and that's where the Buckaroo Buddha thing comes in. It's like starting a young horse. You've got to start in the round pen. Start with that first step. Start with recognizing your inner body and how to feel your own emotions before you start tearing them apart, right? You've got to look at that and see what those emotions are tied to and why this is happening, instead of just showing up and start tearing shit up.
Yeah, and we've spent quite a lot of our education and shamanic background comes from the Toltec belief system, which is taught in like the Four Agreements and so forth. And those authors and that lineage, actually, we spent time in Mexico with members of that lineage and their healing work. But have always incorporated a lot of that belief system into our way of working with our clients, because it does help, like with that shamanic, we've talked about this a little bit before, like finding that healer within. and understanding things like deprogramming or programming. And so as these like, or all of it, the dream of the planet, like there's so many things that just to kind of use to spark them to take their next step, and then offer them that next step, whether it's through this or like something else, but using something that sparks them. I was going to hit something there about being able to, yeah, I lost it, but you being able to use, how using those things, shamanic work, a lot of not just shamanic work, but work in general. There's this layer that is very understanding to people who are coming out of being deprogrammed, such as animal guides and angels of certain realms. And these things are much more recognizable and understandable to them, but it still can be scary. You know, they still want it over here. They still want it in the next room. And that's all it is, I mean, we're familiar with animals every day. We still are afraid to use that trust that as a guide, you know, so they need that space is kind of where I was going with. And then to be able to use those animals and not just introduce them to small ways, but all of the power behind each animal that comes in, like sincere power and journey for your entire life. And it, like for me, I came from a very programmed background. And so to latch on to an animal as a guide is very, very secure for me. But I don't stop there. My heart doesn't stop there and my mind doesn't stop there. So other people can go further. They can go into much more eccentric realms than an animal. But for like this path, it's nice to have something from the earth and that is like concrete to go to for power, no matter like what level of ascension or of what the power from that animal. You might find one thing from it one year and a whole new message from it 10 years later. It's all directed to your path. And so to be able to harness that and gift it so that they have a platform to go to and say, oh, well, that's so cool. We get messages, you know, oh, what's the koala mean, April? And what's the panda bear, and just do a little post and learn more about it for myself because they dreamt or they visioned it. And then they are willing to do that. And then they're willing to do more. Then they start researching and asking more questions. And it's just there, boom. Next thing you know, we're sitting here, talking about much bigger things. But yeah, that's when you talk about services, going back to the services, it was like, yeah, there's so many to offer because it's just where it's at, a lot there.
Would you say that you are working more with women or men?
Equal.
Yeah.
And children. We have had a lot of children.
I would definitely say that women are more, I think more on the women's side. Men, that's what I'm trying to do, is I'm trying to show
for men to Buckaroo Buddha to Dustin.
You can show up, right? Women are a lot better about showing up for themselves, and men are not.
Sorry. Yeah, I think we had a clinic for a number of those years. You see a routine after having it long enough, and so it seemed like the women were the quickest to sign up, and then the men would come in after. A few months after, because they couldn't help but see the change in their spouse.
Yeah.
So like
that was my next question.
Literally,
that was my
You're like literally doing jumping jacks like 4 days after you have a Bowen therapy, and I mean that's from like a walker. You could be in a walker, and the next thing you know, you're just like, it's undeniable to see that the treatment works. So yeah, the spouse is then dragging his butt off the tractor for, and she's like, come on. And so there you go. He comes in and is like, what the hell is that? And it's a chakra flag. And we're just like, it's just a flag that says peace, right? In your heart. Just start there, my friend. And then it would go. But yeah, so in our services too, we're finding ways now to offer the more extreme, I would call it, online, and starting to broaden our thoughts and ways of treatment, that maybe altering our treatment so that we could offer them online, such as the breath work. Yeah, because we've talked about that too, being Dustin is the introducer of that into our story. And so anyway.
So the video, I think that you shared the video, either like you sent it to me or you shared it online when you guys had a shamanic breathwork session with people, and there was this speaker, like it's music and you were dancing. It looks really fun. I mean, I know it, it's altered state of consciousness, but it's like, oh my God, this is amazing, because like you are so connected, and this is very, very special also for me, as like somebody who is watching it, because I can feel it. So can you tell me more about it? Like, what is happening when you are doing sessions like a shamanic breathwork session?
Like I'm sure, like you get to the breath. The breath is what's happening. You're allowing yourself to breathe, to let go. And that's the one thing I always say is, breath work's easy. It's letting go. It's the hard part. But you want like the scientific breakdown of what happened?
I think that what you're feeling behind, because a lot of the breath work, even the kind that I've been working with online and so forth, is really connected to just the breath. And I was just so impressed with how well that was working, because people on their class were reporting their visions and their journey, and it was just like pretty low key, because it has to be online. And so, the video you saw, our workshops are like full on. We have a couple of pretty massive, up-to-date speakers that are designed to work off of one another. So you can have like birds chirping over here and an Indian tribe over here, and then the music, and like it goes off. And we're pretty specific about setting it up. The shamanic way would be like, in our way, our medicine is to add things like hardwood floors, where you really are in the true vibration of the music, and all of that comes up. Then we bring in quite a bit of medicine on our part as facilitators, the 24 hours surrounding the container. The workshops that we were doing, so the treatments are usually a couple hours, and then we did a workshop where it was like 6 hours, and we would really set the container for an hour, and do some more activities, and then breathe, and then break, and then breathe. So you got to journey all day, and it was pretty incredible. We bring in drums and rattles and a lot of medicine from Mexico and Peru, and just all the things to make that container like super magical and bring those vibrations off. And so so the music's like super loud, and having the blindfold on, they're actually bubbled so you can have your eyes open. And we'll get people to drop in, and it's more of a breath work. Like, I'm just going to do it because people are always interested for us. So it's just like and I mean, you just get pumping like a train, and we will encourage this and help people like not pass out. There's a little more to it. And but that'll get going with the music, and then all the medicine that comes in. And it really, after that, once we get it rolling, it's up to the participant to start letting go. It's their job to, and we get them set up for this. We take that whole hour and teach them here and here how they're going to pull this off, how they're going to let go. And when they get there, if you can sincerely let go of everything, of what you're doing Monday morning, of the fact that you just felt April walk by. Yeah, it was April. Who gives a shit? Like, you pay attention, you let go of everything. And if you can, and when you do, and you get through the stages, it will literally completely open up, just like a Hollywood movie. Completely, 100% journey, vision, and your eyes are open. So there you go. And I mean, you're talking about activation. That's my big word in these workshops, is because you have to activate yourself to do it. So if you are getting to this point and there it is, so if you're just gonna, you could just sit there and be like, holy shit, I can't believe I'm watching this. And you could sit there for 2 hours and literally do that and just not watch things happen, but just sit in shock. But if you are, see, like, holy cow, I see, what do I see? It's like Alice in Wonderland. When she saw the little door with the big nose, she reached down and she opened it. And she did her best to open it. She like moved forward. She took action. So in the breath work, there's a lot of action. If you were flying, then you should try to fly, because it'll activate your flight. And if you're, in my case, what you saw, I was trying like hell. I had spent time in my breath work already and put everybody else's bullshit in a walking stick.
Wow.
And the gods came and lit it on fire, and it burnt and burnt and burnt. And I could still see that much in what you were seeing. And I gave it all I had. I was like, all or nothing. This shit's gonna burn and I'm gonna help it. And I didn't care what I looked like. And
it was amazing. It was amazing.
It all went up. So I guess that's kind of a
more of that.
Yeah. That's kind of a lengthy description. I know I wasn't really prepared to explain that,
it's
really yet.
Probably one of my favorite things to facilitate.
Yeah, we get super excited.
To create a container for. I mean, the music, the playlist I put together, that alone is like a full ceremony for me.
Yeah.
Because it's all channeled in.
Yeah.
It's channeled in. It's mixed with a little bit of DJing, right? Because I want to make sure things flow correctly and that music guides you up from the root and brings you up through your crown chakra.
Mm-hmm.
So that alone is like so much fun to do. And then just the breath alone, the places people can go, and holding that container for people, it's just like plant medicine, but it's your own medicine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're getting high on your own supply.
Right? That's the best thing, is getting high on your own supply. You want more medicine, then you just breathe. You just take in more medicine to create more connection and drop deeper in. So it is definitely one of my favorite things to do with people.
Yeah. And it's been a few minutes because we, where we're at, we're pretty remote. And so we've really had fun with that. But that's why we were going with this whole conversation, is finding a way just to provide that for people, because it just like fills our cup so much. Yeah. Anytime you can connect other people to their higher self and to things that are out of the box, really, is always so magical feeling. And you're doing that, every day also. And so it's like, we are doing
it in our own way. Exactly.
Yeah.
But we're all participating in this mission.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about divine union, because when you mentioned, April, that you have Dustin as well, and what you guys doing together and your relationship and everything, is like, oh my God, it's real. It's real. This is possible. Like somebody who's in love and they're working together. They are both shamans. They are, fulfilling their mission, fulfilling their soul as well. And really in this service to humanity. it amplifies, everything amplifies, like the service amplifies, like one individual amplifies another one. This is how I see it. I'm not I'm not looking for it. Yeah, it's not like that I'm like searching, seeking, crazy, obsessed, like, oh, I want my divine, like, I don't know, like partner or whatever. But it's so amazing to meet people who are already connected in this way. So you're a huge inspiration. And yeah, like, what would you say is, like, a lot of people that come to you are single, like you mentioned that they are in relationship, but if you have like single people, are they also looking for their like divine partners, or like, because I know a lot of people are in this space now that they are very, they have expectations, like, I'm doing all this work, where is she, where is he? And I think it's yeah, definitely, it's a natural process, but it's so amazing to see couples like you, to just set the standard. It's just like, yeah, like, it's
Yeah.
possible. Let's just do it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's very possible. Yeah. Yeah, I think the expectation part you brought up is the biggest downfall that people would have, even if you like you think you're at the spot where, oh, I'm ready. I've, cleaned up my life and I love myself and I've done all of these check marks. Like I said, you can research all that. You can literally research all the to-do list of what you need to do before your spiritual partner is going to even think of coming around. And it's all self-work.
Yeah, it's a big part is you really have to do the internal work, I think, to make sure that you can align with them when they show up, or be able to hold that space for each other as you align. Also was a big, it was a big part in my relationship when I first met April. She held that space for me to drop that ego and come into myself. And I think that's something very important that everybody needs
How
to
was
look
that,
for
Dustin?
in
How
that
did you
journey.
feel? Like, at first, how did you feel when you were like, oh, I have to drop my ego? How was that for you when you had such a powerful woman next to you?
I don't know. It
My
just
ego.
kind of happened. She was so open and understanding, and understood my thoughts, that it made it very easy. That she never, she was always so supportive, and I was be like, hey, let's go try this crazy cactus juice, or what are you doing, meditating this morning. She never questioned anything, any part of my process, to help me shed and work through that part of me. She never questioned any of it. And so I think that is probably what made it seem so easy.
Amazing. That's really valuable what you just
She
said,
just
because a
supported
lot of
me.
men will be also listening to this. And it's like, so what do you need to feel safe? Yeah, that a woman also understands you, that a woman also holds
Yeah.
space for you. Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. And yeah. That's, and usually the most important space. It's all good to be held by masculine energy all the time, but to really balance yourself out and have that full connection, you need to be in touch with the feminine just as much as you need to be in touch with the masculine. So if you find that person that can hold both of those worlds for you,
that's
Well,
it.
I think too, yeah. And we're just people. When we met, because you're holding it for me too, in the masculine, in a healthy way, because when I was training horses, I was not around healthy men. And so to go be on a ranch with Dustin and other healthy men that we were at in Oregon, that was really new to me, because the other ones were willing for me to die. They were like, oh no, you're done. Yeah. Where these guys were like, no, we don't want you to die. Get out of there. Like, and it was a whole kind of like, yeah, holding that space for me to not be so in flight, also in like all sorts of areas. Like, you held that space for me too. But we're not like jerks to anyone. And that's the expectation part, is like, we're not just like you. I mean, we're not, unless we're pushed for an uncertain reason, but on the most part, we're not like jerks to people in general in life, right? So why would we be to each other just because
To
we're
each other.
married?
Yeah. Yeah,
And I think that's a
definitely.
big part, like looking over the whole thing, is we never were um, well, where's baby's diaper? Diaper bag. None of us ever said, well, I thought you got it. No, it's your job. Like nobody ever said that. We were just like, shit, we don't have it. Somebody has to go get it now. We never took things out on each other, and we never yelled at each other around the cows. That's a big thing. Most marriages are like horrible. They scream at each other because of the cows. And we were, I guess, still dating when we went up there. So no, I'm kidding. No, we were just not jerks to each other ever. We don't feel like there's ever a reason to be rude to one another. And I don't feel like we ever talked about that, but that is
how it is.
We, work with one another. And it's just caused us to like be best. We're such best friends, and that's fun too. That's like, you don't have to be girl and boy to have a best friend, like to have, And when we first met, you'll know it, things that are heavenly when you meet your person, when you meet your human. So when we first met, those first couple weeks, the best way I could explain the feeling I had when we were hanging out ever together was I felt like I was like with my mom when I was 5 years old in a flower field, like running through a flower field. Like what a beautiful memory, and what a beautiful feeling. And so to follow that sign was like, wow, if you make me feel like that, just driving down the road with a bunch of horses, then how am I going to feel if we go do all this other stuff? There's all this other cool stuff we could do. And so those are like the little messages about, I said, the mystical, whimsical messages you feel or think. It's like, it means something. Yeah. But it's not. Yeah.
Beautiful. Very, very
Yeah.
powerful.
And then finding your power in the whole thing. I think at some point we realized we were a power couple, but it wasn't from ego. It was from what you speak of. It was like, wow, if there's only a few percent of us in the whole world that are of this nature, and for the two of us to find each other, then that's double what you say. And at some point halfway through, we realized that, and then just really honored everything we just talked about. Instead of it just being there or wondering or like whatever, you just were like, nope, that's the way it is. That's the way it's going to be for good. And it just puts you in a place like when we work in medicine together too, of any kind, we're like, it's like having your child, if one parent walks out of the room, the other parent kind of picks up what the kid's doing or something. And you end up doing that with each other in the medicine, which is beautiful. Yeah.
Creating that container together is super fun and very powerful and passionate. And, you're going through things, and when you're in that medicine with each other, and to like look over and see her look at you like, did you just witness that, or did you feel that? And you're like, holy shit, together, that togetherness of being able to hold that space and create those containers together is very, very beautiful.
Very powerful.
And also, I have to say too, because the journey is hard alone, or it's just hard in general. All these things going, I literally am like, last week went to him and that's what it's like. Thank God I have that, because I went to him. I was like, I've decided that I'm just delusional, like I'm not as a label, but it's just, that's the way it is. Between all of the illusions and all of this, I'll just kind of hang out here for a minute. And then the very next day we had the conversation with NIMS, and I come home from lunch and I'm like, okay, I'm not delusional. I found myself today. I was like, there's a whole world of us out there. And I'm finding my soul tribe through your network, right? Yeah. And so that's how the human mind goes through it. And I don't know if it's our generation or the shamanic part of us, but you are also this way, much more that with like reality of things too, as well. And so, going back to that, it was like, yeah, at least I have him to at least pat me on the back. He's like, no, you're not. Are you delusional or are you awakened? Is that what you said?
You are
I don't remember.
multidimensional. Yeah, we are
Yeah, it's all the
multidimensional.
same.
I always say that.
So it's great conversation in our house for sure when you have this. Yeah, you get to heal in light years compared to, yeah.
Absolutely. So would you say that now you are like, because we are reflecting each other's parts, yeah, like we are reflecting each other. So would you say that now you are more reflecting each other's potential, or there are still some parts, like some shadow parts that you are aware of it? In your, for example, this, which part of the journey are you in at the moment?
Well, I think we've always been aware of our own shadow parts and just like actually hold space for it, each other, like the whole shit rolls downhill thing doesn't really work here,
Yeah. And we are
So
humans
I'll let you
anyway,
like,
so we
Yeah.
are here to
yeah,
experience all that shit.
right. So it's like holding that space for each other though. So if you're in the shadow, yeah, we'll hold space for one another, but I don't think it backfires or bounces off each other. But he was married twice and I was married once before this relationship. So we've
learned lots of lessons.
We both learned a lot of lessons before we met one another. It was like, okay, I'll do my part. Yeah. So
Amazing. And
yeah,
now
go
you
for it.
are, yeah, can you also tell me, like, what are your not plans, but what is unfolding now? Because I know that you mentioned the book and everything, that you are also planning to work together, but also you have some your um projects and goals that you want to fulfill. So let's talk about that, because I'm super curious and I want that people know what is going on.
Woo, we're just kind of like at the top of this roller coaster right now. We spent the last 2 years really turned the arrows into ourselves. We served hard, long hours.
Lots of ceremonies, lots of time and energy.
Yeah,
And
when we turned it, yep.
yeah, we kind of 2 years both, kind of stepped back and looked at ourselves and healed some shadows that we needed to heal and things that we thought that we needed to work on. And
the year of the snake.
Yeah, the year of the snake.
Shedding, yeah.
Yeah, we knew it.
And I guess now's the year of the horse, and the gates are opening and up.
Yeah, kind of settling into our new space here. We've been here almost a year, and it's very remote, and we're managing a ranch. And so that we are pretty happy about is part of our creation to come to this space. And so we're kind of settling into that and finding different ways to help people online and still move forward pretty much with, you kind of gather all these things in your medicine bag. And as we go down the road, and it's like, you work so hard at it. And sometimes you set it to the side or have to not use it anymore or feel like you're not, why did I learn how to do all of that? Now I'm not even using it anymore. That doesn't even make sense. Or like, it could be anything like that. And all that's popping up. It's like, oh, that's why we learned. Now I can just do it. Yeah. And so lots of green flags and just beautiful things coming in that it's interesting, it's just like, I think this society too is where it's so fast. So we're trying to, it's like, gee whiz, kind of process and settle in to it too. Take Nim's advice and try to sit in silence for 10 minutes a day, and I'm just so grateful. It takes a lot to build a life that you can be clean of all of the things out there that prevent us from doing what we're doing, basically. And so, all of us here. And so I just kind of feel like rewarding ourselves right now and sitting in that and seeing how all of this like unfolds. Yeah. But very happy to have the wave come for sure.
type of creation, I think, a lot.
Yeah.
Creation and dreaming into what is next and where is this all going. The whole technology thing has been hard for me to grasp, but I'm really hoping to try and figure out how to offer some breathwork stuff online, and
Mm-hmm.
not so much hands-on and stuff like that. We've been discussing things like that.
Well, we do have big projects that I'm like, so yeah, we do. Yeah. We have an upcoming book next year that has been in our vision for quite a long time. We're both authors of spiritual leadership type publications already, and have always wanted to center in on a lot of how working with animals or horses specifically can be relatable to, or, like the shamanic viewpoint, or just heart-centered life in general, kind of introducing them to energy, because they're already using it. People who work with horses every day for a living, they're still using that energy. And if they could somehow relate it to themselves, their whole life, right, would change. And so introducing that, but it's been a real, people are very attracted to this. And so, we don't want to be the first, we want to be the best type there. So we're really putting quite a bit into bringing it together. We've created a program called Unbridled Consciousness, and that's what we're actually moving forward with. I have gone through enough work this past year that we're now moving into a project with this for a religious recovery program online.
Mm-hmm.
So that people who
Christ consciousness and things like that, that you connect. Amazing.
And kind of provide a space there online for people who need that privacy and those services there. And I see. We have podcasts coming up. The later half of this year. Yeah, we were reaching out to some, shall we call, famous horsewomen and horsemen from around the world, and especially if they're kind of in tune with consciousness, and bringing them in so that we can attract the audiences that were, and people like yourself, and just give them so much more education. And just kind of swing with the Buckaroo Buddha thing. People are loving it.
Buckaroo Buddha. Okay, one question, what is the first question? How can people get connected? How do they find out what is their spirit animal? That's first question. The second question, what was the most unusual animal that showed up as a spirit animal, as a spirit guide?
The most unusual one?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't
know
like
about
an ant
or something? Do you remember like it?
Well, I remember the children. The children are the ones who think it's unusual or odd. So I remember the one girl, she had it read a few times in her life. And the one night, right in front of her mother and everything, I pulled out the badger, and she was like,
wow.
Ugh. And she looked at her mother. She's like, I don't want the badger. Like, why would that happen?
The liar.
But I was able to explain to her, she was a rainbow child and warrior, and the older sister of a mixed family of 7 boys. So, it was like, of course you're a badger. You have to be, it's okay for a little bit. And then it was so beautiful because she had really healed in what she had been working on for 4 years, this family. And so she was a young lady and moved on with her activities and sports and all of these beautiful things in the community, and came back just before she got her driver's license just to have a Reiki treatment, and had drew the dolphin, or it came up in the Reiki somehow. Wow. I think the dolphin showed up, and she was like, oh, I graduated. It was really cute. So the kids are the cutest. Yeah. The kids are the cutest. The one little girl got a blue heron and was like, what the hell is that? Because I don't even know what that is. So you get the best reactions out of the kids. But the others who have visions and stuff of animals before, and that is that's where you really see it like hit home with for the heart with people. And then the animals come in the breath work or in the Reiki. So if you're in tuned with your animal and you come for Reiki, it's going to show up in your sense and in your vision.
Yeah, it's actually calling in, the animal guides, animal spirits, and the different medicines. And so usually when I'm in a treatment with somebody, a session with somebody, that animal will present itself either to that person or to me, and we'll talk about it. And there's always this connection, and it's a very beautiful thing. But I think it's just really calling them in and opening up that container for that person to be allowed to present that to themselves and let that animal inside of them show up for them.
And no expectations.
Yeah, you can research. It's really good now to research. You can, if you had a vision or even earlier in life, even maybe you loved an animal as a child, and you can research it. But we draw cards as well. We have animal cards, and it comes with a book that is cool. And happy to do that for anybody. It's beautiful. It takes a couple minutes per person, so I don't tend to do it, in a more than one or two people at a time, just because that way we can spend the time necessary. But it's wonderful to like hook in on the powers from that animal. And you can either just absorb it or you can like feed off of it. And so and they come in different stages of your life too.
Yeah.
Right.
So different animals in different stages, would you say, or you have the same animal all the time? Or it's like sometimes stronger, sometimes it's something else. What would you say?
The way it was taught to me was, we kind of build a totem of life.
Please go up.
Through life. I've had, I had strong panda bear medicine. I think when we first met, I was really, that was my medicine, to transition to an owl. And then I sat with this actually this last 2 weeks, and I'm right in the middle of transitioning right now. I'm feeling the horse, but I don't know. There's something new shifting it, as I'm shifting. There's a new animal that I'm being called to work with, and it hasn't 100% presented itself, but it's there. And so I think as all of us, as we transition and grow through our journey, that the different animals with different powers of what we need at that time show up for us, right? But you can always call back. You can always call back that other medicine when you need to bring that inner child out and roll around on the ground and play with your child. You call in that panda bear medicine and things like that. So
panda bear medicine, that's so amazing. That looks so cool. Like sounds so really, really cool.
I had a lot of issues with my dreams as a young adult, and went through an actual shamanic ceremony to have them turned off. And, the healer was like, April. And I was like, oh yeah, this is happening. It's happening somehow. So you're going to help me or I'm going to go get it. He was like, I'll help you. And we turned it off. And it wasn't until I had done quite a bit of some inner work, this was 10 years. I hadn't dreamed at all. And all of a sudden I had done this shift, and I had a very, very detailed dream of a tiger. And so I went for help. I went back to him for help, and he was like, you are awoke. It's awoke and you are on the hunt. And that hit me so hard, because that's what I was working with, was truth. I was coming out of religious trauma and moving into finding the truth for me. And so I was a hunting truth tiger for a long time. And then I went through a number of surgeries and was stuck in bed. And that's when the dragonfly came, as angels, taught me all about angels. I had 6 years to read about angels and have them be present and learn to sit with them and study them. And use the dragonfly's powers. I remember how resilient they were, and it saying that if the dragonfly lived for 3,000 years, they're the best survivors around, right? And it was like, oh, great, nice spirit animal. I got one that's going to survive no matter what, you know? Okay, I'll take it. And so then I moved into Black Jaguar this last like 4 years. And because you understand what you're doing by now, it was like, oh boy, I studied it and I'm in the breath work so I can have transformed into Black Jaguar and learning its medicine, things like to make, you know, how to observe and how to let, you know, how to walk in different worlds, really, because they're a pretty independent cat, you know, animal. And so you pick up all these power pieces from them that help you like settle into who you're going to be. Yeah. Or makes you happy. Yeah. With yourself.
It's an amazing perspective. Yeah. Because sometimes, I mean, a lot of people, you know, maybe they heard about it. Okay, spirit animal, but we all have at least one. Yeah. We all have them. Yeah. We just
or
need to
numerous
connect
that are just waiting to be unlocked, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's always fun to look it up because usually the first thing it says is to go like how that animal needs rest to be itself, or like a cat. A cat is never worried about when it's going to eat, right? It doesn't think about it. It just goes and gets its food. Yeah. Things like these. Yeah, help you. It's cute.
Beautiful.
Yeah, but I would love to do that for you someday. We'll have to.
Yay! Thank you.
We'll have to do that together
with open heart. But
Good.
First, now tell people where they can find you. Your famous TikTok profile and everywhere else. Like where can you find you?
We have a link tree. I don't know if you're familiar with that app.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
when you have
Linktree.
Everything there. Yeah.
Yeah, and we put one together there under my name, April Kaiser, and then there's one under Buckaroo Buddha, and then you can go on the page.
We're gonna share all that under the
other.
video. Yeah, so just send me on WhatsApp, and I'll share it. Of course.
Yeah, would love to connect with anyone on there. We have a 30-minute call, and so if it's something you guys, you know, anyone wants to connect with us about, be sure to just reach out.
Love it. And how do you, for example, is it possible online to, for example, see the spirit animal of one child?
I'm sorry, repeat that. We had a distraction.
No problem. So if, for example, if my son is online, is it possible that he gets information? What is his spirit animal? Like if, you know, like we are talking, or like, is there any way to, you know, to check online? What is it like to,
let's set one up with him. I would love to work with the both of you. That would be super cute. Yeah.
I think that would be really
interesting. He can come with what he wants. If he has a favorite animal, make sure he comes with, you know, if he's already passionate about something, then that's probably it. But if not, or that's it, then we'll center in on that one. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. And I know that a lot of people, you know, like who have kids, like, oh my God, I really want to, first for themselves, maybe then for their kids, because everything, like when you have something, it's, you know, that you're like, oh, that's my protector, that's, you know, always with me. It's like so much fun. Yeah. And like really, really powerful experience, like the whole life.
Very much.
Okay. Now question, how can beautiful badass souls support you? Each and everyone who will watch this, how can we support you? What can we do for you?
Oh, Anya, you've been so great. Thank you so much already. You guys are so supportive. I've been really enjoying the courses, and I've been sharing them with Dustin, and it's so funny, the activations and stuff like that. I've got those big speakers, and I saw him the other night cooking. You know, I saw the back of his head, and he's cooking. And boy, I turned it up, and you came on, and you're like, okay, brave ass, you know, souls, let's get the fuck to it. And Dustin's like, oh my God. He's like, there's two of you. I was like, you bet there is. And so we're just having a blast with it all, and the resources. And I've been sitting in on your conversations with Roger and Arne. Oh, I don't want to butcher his name.
Yeah,
The
Yarna,
other.
you got it right. Yeah, it's
Oh, I did
Yarna.
it. Okay, good. Yeah, he has just amazing. What amazing connections here, and I, like I say, I've been able to share it with Dustin. It's just been beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I mean, it's such a
Mhm.
pleasure to have you around. I'm so happy that we found each other. So, like
Yes.
this community, like I said, it's really the main intention is to feel like a fucking cosmic superstar. Yeah. I want
We
that each
do.
and every one of in the group, it feels like they feel like a cosmic superstar, and that we co-create together, whether that's co-create a space or something else, calls like this. This is really, really powerful. And I know that whoever will see it, whoever will hear it, they will get something out of it, because we already shared so many amazing stuff. Yeah, it's like in energy way and also like practical with the word. So, but yeah, just let me know how, like, what kind of people would you like to meet, or I would really like to open this portal for you. I don't know, like maybe now for a week until the next spark of inspiration comes up, but it's still like it's gonna be saved in replay, so everybody will know how to see the recording. But if you don't know now, like you can share later, just say, Anya, like I want to do this, or like my goal is this, like I don't know, or this book, like do you know this person? Because there are some pretty epic people inside the community. Sometimes they are not really showing up, like, all
Right.
the time engaging,
Right.
but like they are writing to me, oh Anya, I really enjoy my, your community. I was like, you're where are you? Like I didn't even know that you are around, but yeah, they are. But they're not just, they are contributing in their own way, which is amazing, because I appreciate when they are
Good.
reaching out, when we are connected, not just like lurking, like they are somewhere out
Yeah.
there and they're not even connecting. So yeah,
Yeah, no, you're doing a great job with people, and that's why I'm there, just trying to always rooting it on, saying, "Come on, guys, we can connect." I really appreciated Skool, your community in general too, because it's like I think social media was getting, there's
yeah,
always this
I'm
like piece of me that
yeah,
drops when I
yeah,
hit
yeah,
that, and
yeah,
I don't feel that way. I'm always like, "Oh, do, here we go," and what a
exactly.
great when you would say a part of a community, like it
Yeah,
really is. Feel that feeling. Thank you. Yeah, but
yeah,
I'll
and
think of
also, I
ways.
mean,
I just go ahead. Yeah.
go ahead. I'm gonna
Oh,
I'm
I was
gonna
just
lose
saying,
you.
I'll try to think of some ways. If people want to support us on social media, you brought up Dustin's TikTok,
Yeah,
and that was fun. He actually did that to we're talking about podcasts in these conversations, and he said, "Oh, my throat chakra," and I said, "Oh, what are you going to do about it?" And he says, "Oh, I'm going to do this." And so he created these beautiful little videos of Buckaroo Buddha, like a real Buckaroo Buddha, right? And it ended up kind of blowing up on TikTok. There, we got like over 1,000 followers within a
I
few
know,
days,
I love it. And also
and it's
share the videos. You can download on TikTok, or like, like whatever, just upload it
oh,
in community. Share the
okay,
videos, like Dustin's videos
sure.
there, so people can see it. So
Yeah, and
It's
it's
been
just
we
fun.
hitting people's hearts. We
That's
got a lot of messages of
it's been pretty
people.
cool to see
yeah.
something that I started as just trying to get, as you can tell, my speaking on, I get nervous on this computer thing. So whatever. So I started doing these TikToks, and the feedback that I got from people helped me open up so much more and open my heart, and actually, like, I really enjoy the the aspect of doing it, because I couldn't believe how much people it was actually helping, just from watching whatever my feelings were for the day, right? And just putting that out there, hoping that what I say that morning can help build that
Mhm.
bridge to those
Yeah.
people, right? I'm the community I'm kind of reaching out to is that Western equine community that is closed off, but maybe my morning rough persona that's attached to these TikTok videos, which obviously I'm sure by now you can't tell, I'm very much in my heart. I'm not so much as I come across all my TikTok videos, but I'm trying to capture that cowboy that's sitting there having his morning coffee that, is starts questioning, oh shit, why do I feel this way? Why is this coming up in my life? Or, why is this horse giving me these issues? Well, the issue isn't actually the horse, it's actually deeper than that.
Yeah.
And so it's been a fun journey building those and watching what comes out of it.
So it's like your focus, it is in a way this cowboy communities that you would like
I
to
guess
connect to.
because I guess for me it is a little bit because that's who I am.
Yeah, of
I'm
course.
not
And then you can empower. I
I'm
mean,
not
you can show them what's possible. Yeah.
yeah, you don't have to.
Yeah.
Healing doesn't have to be done in what did I hear the word called the other day was a crystal store healer, right? Where we go and
Yeah.
it's all white dresses and gold.
Of
You can
course
heal
not.
in the
Oh my
dirt.
God.
You can heal in
I'm
the dirt
attending
and in the
punk rock
dirtiness,
concerts. So it's like after punk rock
right?
concerts, we are healing each other.
But in that world, first thing you think of when you think about healing and all these modalities is you're like, oh, I have to go, to this woo woo, crystalline light place, and you don't. It's you can heal in the dirt, and you can heal just as dirty and just as deep,
Yeah.
and it's okay. And so I guess that's who I'm trying to reach are those people that are of the dirt and the dirty and ready to take that first step into the consciousness and light of themselves. So
Like I said, what a
yeah.
fascinating story, and what a fascinating couple and individuals. Like, you are amazing. I love you so much. So really
Thank
cool.
you.
Thank
I
you.
really enjoyed this conversation.
Yes, us too. Thanks for the opportunity, and man, just thanks for everything you're doing, Anya.
You're welcome. Would you like to wrap up with, I don't know, some special statement or something that you would like to share, or quote or whatever that you would like to share with our audience?
That's Dustin.
You do it. Dustin, the stage is yours.
Cowboy up from the inside out.
There you go.
Right?
Love it. Thank you. Thank you.
Bring it. You don't have to be tough. It's okay. It's okay to let it go.
Yeah.
So
On every level. Oh my gosh, you are doing such an amazing work in the world. So thank you. Thank you both. Thank you. It's an honor to meet you both today. All right. So here, can you imagine, like, now is 22:21. So it's like, here in Slovenia, it's like 20 minutes past 10 p.m. We're gonna finish 22:22, but we can stay on. Like, I'm gonna stop recording now for our audience, so it's not for too long. If they want to get in touch, they can absolutely find you in Beautiful Badass Souls and everywhere else. But for now, thank you for watching, thank you for listening. We are all the most beautiful and badass souls in the universe because we have decided to incarnate in this time on planet Earth, and we are doing it together. So 22:22, yay. Okay, stop recording. Bye-bye.